So hey guys, how you doing? I've got a little bit of a cold or a head cold or something, allergies or something. So this is going to be a short video today because I just cannot talk very long without like losing my voice. So not the intended video I had in mind for today, but that got moved out to Wednesday, hopefully now, and this is what you guys are getting for Saturday. So sorry about that. All right, so today's subject is Nintendo Online and what I think some of the pros and cons of it and what could possibly be done. And I have some weird out of the box thinking on this one, so I'd love to hear what you guys think. But one, let's go through the pros and cons real quick. So I've got a list here of cons, pros and cons. Let's start with the cons first. One small one that kind of bugs me is when you're in the menu system, it doesn't show you online unless you're in the game. I like an option to turn that on and off. Number two, this one bugs me because going back all the way to X-Band from 1994 for SNES and Genesis, you could actually send text messages to friends. I would really like to send a text message to people on my Switch on my friends list because relying on apps like Twitter when they're immersed in a game, they're probably not going to see it. So to have something that would pop up a notification saying, hey, this person would like to play a game with you, or they sent you a message or something, would be great. Because when you're immersed in a game, you know how it is. You don't want to, you're dead to the world in some ways. And that's something I had to learn how to get out of in a lot of ways when I learned how to stream, because when I first started learning how to stream, and I still see most streamers are pretty quick to learn this, but people that do YouTube content, canned content, are pretty bad at it. And when I watch them do a live stream on YouTube, they constantly forget to check chat. And I was like that all the time because I was immersed in the game. Friend codes suck, and they're still there. There's nothing else to say about that. They're just dumb. The Nintendo Online voice app does not allow parties. So if you're playing Mario Kart and you're going from a regular race to an arena match or something, it's going to kick you out of the room until you're in the arena match and you have to start all over again. That's dumb. Just do party chat. There's no way to throw the voice chat audio to the Nintendo Switch headphone jack. That'd be nice. Regardless, this is the biggest one to me, is if you're paying any kind of money, whether it's $50, $20, $1 per month for an online service, and it's supposed to work and it doesn't. And currently right now, stuff like Mario Maker 2 and a great example is the NES games that their big thing was, oh, we're doing this with online so you can play with your friends through the online service. Unless they're nearby, I've had very bad luck with that, and Mario Maker 2 is just straight up broken. So that's a big con right there. All right, some of the pros, they have found some ways to get around friend codes. One of the big ones for me is the Facebook Twitter integration. I use Twitter all the time. Being signed into it, it's nice that I can actually send capture clips from my Switch directly to Twitter and see hey, look at this cool thing that I did in this game or something like that. But you can also, if other people that you know on your Twitter friends list or whatever you want to call it, or also have their Twitter account integrated into their Nintendo Switch account, you can just easily friend them. You don't have to use a friend code or anything. So that's pretty cool. Every once in a while I've run into this, and so I'll play with a friend that has another friend or acquaintance, and I want to follow them on the Switch, but instead of asking them for a friend code, since we played together, they're added to a list of people you've played with. You can actually go back through that list and just easily friend them, so that's a pretty cool thing. This is a really great one, saying that the Nintendo Switch is a portable device, and that in a lot of cases I find myself taking it places like cons and stuff like that. So I'll run into other gamers and be like, hey, you like Nintendo Switch? Because I'll be wearing a Switch shirt or something like that, so it just starts a conversation. Or I'll be at a Nintendo booth, and we'll get to talking and be yeah, we should play Mario Kart or something sometime, and sure. And if they have their Switch and I have my Switch, which happens at cons a lot, we can take it out and do an ad hoc wireless to each other's devices and just friend each other that way. It's really stupid, simple, and easy, and it's kind of nice seeing that it's a portable device. I like that. People are probably not going to be happy with me on this one, but I have to admit, having used the Nintendo Online app, a couple of things. I've used Discord to play with people on the Switch too. Now, when I'm playing on a TV, I want to hear the speakers on the TV, and unless you're doing that weird dog bone thing with wires coming out of that, wires coming out of your cell phone, which nobody wants to do, I just set my cell phone down and use it on speaker, okay? through Discord, I get echoing and I can hear their TV background and they can hear mine, and it's not a great experience. I've done this a couple of times with friends playing Smash. And then a couple of times I play with friends either Smash or Mario Kart, and Walgrade uses the Nintendo Online app. Whatever Nintendo did, their noise canceling through open mic, speaker functionality is awesome. It works insanely well, and I think it's how the app was intended to be used, is just you set it somewhere on a speaker phone kind of setting, because they can't hear anything on my TV, even with it blaring loud, and I'm getting no echo back through their speaker or anything like that. So that's really nice, but it might be dependent on how well your phone is at canceling audio. The other thing I'll give them credit for is, once again, I've actually found the call quality on the Nintendo Online app just slightly better than Discord. It sounds a little bit more better, a little bit more full and rich. So, having been insulted by small children, and I'm not really a fan of a lot of kids, I find it annoying when you go into a game and by default the setting is to have voice chat on. And I do this still to this day. It doesn't matter how many times you think I would learn, but I just don't. I'll start up a game, start to play online, and then there's some 6-year-old spouting racial crap at me, and I have to go through the match before I can turn it off or something like that. So on Nintendo Switch, having the online app be that extra step, so you actually have to go turn it on to be able to use it, I think that extra step is a nice thing, and I wish everybody would do that. And I actually kind of see that in a weird way as a feature. Alright, deals like NES games and Tetris 99, and this weekend they're doing a free trial of Mario Tennis, if you didn't know, so you can just go download Mario Tennis and play it until the 13th, I think. So, and it's got a discount on it. All that stuff is really cool. I know a lot of people are poo-pooing that there's not Super Nintendo stuff and all that on there, but at the same time, this being a $20 service a year, they could just said, hey, give us $20 just to play online, and that was it. They didn't have to say anything else. So the fact that they're offering these things and trying to give some value to it, whether you agree with it or not, you're not really entitled to it. So, and I do like NES games. I grew up on NES games. So for me, I like it a lot. So I don't know. Take it how you want, but I don't see that as a bad thing. I actually see it as a good thing. So the two biggest things that I would really, really like to see out Nintendo Switch, or see out Nintendo to fix for the Switch Online, is one, games that don't work just need to work, straight up. Texting needs to happen on the device itself. And I would like to see a way to send, even if it's through the app, swiping up on the app, a way to send voice chat audio to the Switch itself, so you could plug it in a headset and use it that way. That would be great. One of the things that drives me nuts about Nintendo is they're really bad at community building. I really do believe that. They let others help build communities, and then sometimes those communities crumble when the figurehead goes away, but I think Nintendo should do a more active stance at that. And that's one weird way that they could kind of leverage their online a little bit better. So here's an example. And one of the things that drives me nuts about the Nintendo Switch, maybe you don't see it because things are quite different in Japan. People in Japan have a different mindset where they like to go out and do things more often than people in the United States do. We're kind of homebodies in a weird way here, and human connection has been something very hard to come by in the United States because we don't have places that are gaming centric or something like that, like arcades and stuff like they do in Japan. And a lot of us just sit in our house and play video games through online. So Nintendo has this device that's portable, and I feel like a lot of people are just pulling it out of the dock and playing on their couch, hanging out with their family and stuff. They're not actually going out. And so if I was Nintendo, I'd learn how to leverage this a little bit better to help build communities. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at what they could do. First of all, they've tried some things. They have the Nintendo Road Trip going on right now, which I was kind of disappointed in because a lot of games are just current stuff, not really new stuff. And they did have a couple things like pins and stuff like that I've seen them give away in the past. But what if we leveraged the Nintendo Online app to allow incentives in games like, say, Splatoon? You get different gear and stuff like that if you go to these events. Or Nintendo has things that they call, I guess they're just points. You get them both for physical, but you get more if you buy a game online. And each gold coin equates to 1 cent currency. So after you build so many coins up, if you redeem them when you're buying a game online or buying DLC or something, you'll get whatever you have in coins off. So let's say Nintendo says, we're going to give some extra Splatoon outfits or something away for in Mario Kart the game if you come to our event along with 150 gold coins. You put a barcode or like a QR code on the app that gets scanned at the event itself, okay? And then add to the online profile. Say, hey, I met this person there, almost like an Uber rating. I met this person there and the interaction wasn't so great. So you could either dislike or like. If somebody gets enough dislikes, then you're weeding out the toxic elements. And so then, you won't get that invite to go to that event. You won't get the barcode to go in through the turnstiles or whatever. So where do you meet up at? They could start with like road trip stuff. But ideally what I'd like to see Nintendo do is not just have an online store or just have a New York store. I don't know what I was talking about online. Have a New York store, but I'd also like to see stores like in other big cities like Seattle, Chicago, whatever, and keep throwing these events like, hey, we're going to have an event where we're getting together for Mario Kart or this, and there's going to be like cake and stuff like that, or just whatever, and allow people a nice, safe place to meet up where they can get their gaming on, get their geek on, and get a little incentive for it at the same time, meet new people, friend new people on their device, and in turn, they'll go back and, hey, be able to hopefully message them one day through something else other than Twitter or Facebook and play games together. And in a weird way, you're not only growing your community, you're growing people's dependency on the online when they're away, if that makes any sense. And then this can also be used for other things. Right now, Nintendo has a thing called the Warp Pipe or Warp Pipe Pass or something for events like PAX and stuff and E3. Say you want to schedule a time to go see a thing. Well, now you have this barcode capability built into the online app. You can actually use it and scan it to, for when you're going to your event or whatever. So people don't have to sit there and like look up your name and all this and figure out who you actually are through some kind of like weird means or like whatever they're doing right now. You just go bleep and you're done. And I don't mean to put anybody down. I don't know who Nintendo's community manager is right now, but in my point of view, why aren't they leveraging these kind of things? You have the perfect device for it. Why is there not more community events across the country? If I was Nintendo, I would just be hiring people locally in a lot of places just to throw events like this to help bring the brand up. Once you bring the brand up and you start building on communities, guess what? More people are going to be interested. More people are going to start buying the devices. You could even do things like guest passes because since the app is on the phone, maybe you don't have a Nintendo Switch. Well, go ahead and sign up for an account and you can still go to the event and check it out and actually check out the Switch and see what it's like. You might get somebody to buy the system. Maybe Nintendo could even do some like cool, since it's an app on a phone, do some like cool geolocation stuff. Like, hey, go to this spot and, on the map or something similar to like Pokemon Go or something and get this cool item or something. PlayStation tried to do that with Nier on the PlayStation Vita and it was a little too early and I don't think PlayStation really was doing a good job with it. I know Nintendo has a lot of fears about people that would be using this in some ways, but you also have an online parental control app or like an app for your phone that will connect to your Switch and you can control it that way. Just make it so you can turn a lot of these services on and off so it doesn't exploit kids. This would be something I would see more for younger adults, even older adults like me that want to go out and have fun together and, enjoy video games and a passion of ours that we really like. Nintendo has a chance right now with this device to do that better than anybody else because you're not going to rip your PlayStation out the wall and then go meet at some place and whatever. But since they have a portable device, that can carry over, that's pretty awesome actually. So anyways, that's just some of my weird ideas about how Nintendo could approach online and community building a little bit differently than they have been. I do think it's really hard to do in the States, and it's something that people could capitalize on very easily if they knew what they were doing. But Right now what we have is we have a lot of short-sightedness, I believe, and just a lot of broken stuff going on with the online with Mario Maker and all that. There's so many ideas you could do here. You can make Mario Maker levels a barcode, scan them in through the app, say, hey, you meet somebody at one of these events and they have Mario Maker levels or a Mario Maker app. Add that to the online and then make it so they can see like a QR code, and you could scan that on your app, and then automatically you have access to those levels of Mario Maker. Why is this not going on? Technology is so cool now. Leverage it, Nintendo. Use it. Build your community with it. Anyways, that's it for me today, guys. If you like this video, give a thumbs up, thumbs down if you didn't. Be sure to subscribe if this is your first time seeing the video. Dingle my bell down below if you want to keep getting alerts for new videos. I'm trying to keep videos coming out on Saturdays and Wednesdays. We'll see how I do on that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later.